Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And got a good one for you today because I felt like going back to the zoo. So many of you wrote me about it. I just love this place, man. This place is awesome. And Orange County Zoo, brand new. It's been open just a few months. Just a beautiful location. Got the mountain lion hanging out right there. It's really nice. So much to cover in the economy. You know, depending on who you talk to and who you ask, you know, I think things are awful right now. But hey, they're not that bad. Not to worry. Just go about your day. Before I get into all the news, good and bad, please don't forget to hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notifications to get notified on everything. Let's get into it. First things first, real estate. You cannot get away from real estate right now when it comes to the economy. And you can sit there and say, hey, we've turned a corner on inflation. You can kid yourself, but look at all the attached stories to this video. And they're from around the globe. And the thing that I have is, as my channel grows, the one thing that I'm incredibly lucky about, and I've spoken to so many people about this today, is that we have an abundance of people from around the world that are business leaders. These guys are retired executives in the oil industry, retired executives in finance, real estate, doctors, plumbers. I mean, everybody that have a tremendous amount of experience, but their backgrounds are incredibly successful and they've made a lot of money doing different things. Guys, this place has a ton of wild peacocks at the park and at the zoo. They're just walking around, hanging out. So there's a peacock back there. First things first, real estate. Real estate, we saw mortgage applications drop to their lowest level in 22 years in the last week. Now, a few things with this. You can say, that's just a bad week, Dan, no big deal. No, this is a huge deal because people are not spending the money to buy these higher priced houses. Now, here's the thing. Real estate sales themselves have dropped off substantially and gone down another 6%. So people are, here's the thing, buying less properties, but housing prices are still continuing to peak up overall in certain markets. So you're seeing something crazy where people are not going ahead with the contracts, and you're still seeing a price increase in certain markets, which is inevitably going to end. Now, I'm gonna get the peacock to go a little closer. One thing that's crazy is somebody sent me this, a realtor in the Toronto area, and in January there were 380 canceled contracts for condos in the greater Toronto market. That went up 643% last month to 2,822 contracts that were canceled. You can read the article. There's a myriad of reasons where people could cancel their contract. But guys, this is the shape of things to come, where people are not paying for this. People are not paying these prices and thinking about this and saying, do we want to get stuck with these payments? And because Canada is an adjustable mortgage festival up there, nobody wants to stick with this, and people have to do the math. The one thing that nobody wants to do is they say this. They say, what is my payment? Oh, honey, we can afford that. But nobody sits there with an adjustable mortgage and says, what's the highest it can go to? Oh gosh, we could never afford that. That's what has to be done with people when it comes to these adjustable mortgages, and so many people aren't doing that. But one thing that's kind of going under the radar, oh, here's another peacock. One thing that's going under the radar is the number of people that are canceling these transactions. Real estate and mortgage interest amount is only going to go up right now. Now, the European Central Bank in the last week had kind of a surprise announcement where they announced that they are going to do unlimited bond buying. That's going to make, no matter what it takes, they're going to continue to buy bonds. And Christine Lagarde came out today, and she said from the IMF that they're concerned that this is going to create a problem. Well, of course it's going to create a problem. And the European Central Bank, you guys can sit there and say anything you want about these places, but this is not doing a service to the economy. Let the chips fall where they may, okay? things are bad, and nobody wants to admit it right now. You know, it's such a problem when it comes to real estate and the number of foreclosures. And again, I love looking on those sites like foreclosure.com, because you're shocked at what I'm most shocked about is not that somebody's in foreclosure. That's not it. It's the fact that they live in a neighborhood and they literally owe more than they owed on what the house is worth. That's what's crazy. How can they get loans like this? Who's lending this money at this irresponsible level like this? Crime, retail crime, is shooting up right now. This morning in Los Angeles, a Chanel store. Think about this. Chanel's perfume, bags, stuff like that, nice high-end store. 8 people drove a car through a Chanel store. 8. And we haven't seen the security cameras yet because the police are still investigating. But they drove through the store and stole tens of thousands of dollars worth of merchandise. Okay, guys, think about this. There's not a driver's license, there's not a license plate, there's not a vehicle description, there's nothing like that yet. This is insane that people are going to this brazen steps to steal bags. Oh, hey, we got a porcupine. See the porcupine up there? He's just hanging out. We should go pet him if we get the chance. You first. So, we're seeing a little bit of everything, guys. And the crime is a huge problem. Appalachias Homestead with Patera, she has a great channel, and I love the channel. I've learned so much about prepping from Patera, but I'm going to put a link to her video down there today. But she brought up a great point about when you go out and you go shopping right now, there are so many robberies, there are so many people being victimized in broad daylight right now. At the ATMs, shopping, when they park their car. And again, be safety conscious wherever you go. That's what I always tell my kids, what I tell my friends. When you park the car, be aware of where you park your car. Be aware of when you go back to your car. Are there vans? Are there now 2 cars on both sides of it? Especially ladies. I mean, the shenanigans. People do things that you want to, you know, you want to be leery of. Look at this. Look at the cat. Wow. That is awesome. Yeah. It's a Black Panther. Turn this way for the camera. There you go. Hi, buddy. Look at those claws. He's just hanging out. So, look at that. Wow. It's really hot out here. It's about 100 degrees. So he's just hanging out, swimming. What a beautiful panther. Hey, buddy. Got his paw in his mouth. Be leery of this stuff, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. Hey, buddy. What are you eating on? That's your paw. Look at how he scratched that barrel up and just did a number on that. There we go. Hi. That is so cool. Kitty.
It's called Panther. That's Black Panther. Yeah, that's a Black Panther. Right there. Oh, look at him go. Black Panther. Black Panther. Hi, Black Panther.
Buddy. Hi. So, you have to take this stuff seriously. Certain things you have to do, and your security is one of them. And as far as just being, you know, aware of your surroundings, because the robbers are getting more brazen, and they're doing things that are a lot more dangerous. Driving cars through stores, robbing people in broad daylight. People that have expensive watches, they're going to, which I don't understand a guy that buys a $50,000 watch. I don't understand the tourist that had $1 million watch on his wrist, waving that around, and then got, surrounded by 30 people and they took the watch. This is just going to happen more and more right now. And the problem with crime is it's only getting worse as people get more desperate. California's announced a couple of stimulus programs for, oh look, got the baby peacocks right there. California's announced a couple stimulus programs, which this one I really agreed with, is that if you are in the foster program is horrible here in California because these kids are shuffled from foster home to foster home. And then when they're 18, they're just basically kicked out on their own, which is horrible. I know a man that set up a program to get foster kids, to get them coding and get them a job outside of the program, which was a great way to get them a career. And we need more things like this. So they're going to give these people $1,000 out of the program. Governor Newsom just announced it. But again, if you are looking for things like this, constantly search your state. California, this guy thinks he's going to be president, so he's going to give away, he's going to give away free cars and cell phones again. So share your thoughts on all this stuff. Let's go take a look at some of these animals right now, guys. You can sit there and say, oh, Danny, you're all gloom and doom. And you can do whatever you want with this news. Mr. Bear hanging out. Just got to look at the economy. CNN had a great story that's below talking about how the pilot shortage is only going to get worse because of the demand for pilot training, the age requirements with these people, the limited number of hours that these people can work. It has created nothing but problems for professional pilots in that industry. So we're seeing more and more of that.
Ready to go.
Airline travel has become an absolute mess. It's so expensive. The delays are just horrific right now. The lost luggage, everything, but hey, nothing to worry about. You give them some more money and they'll figure it out. It's horrific. Starbucks has a leaked video out right now. The CEO, Howard Schultz, who's the founder of it, he came back as CEO and he steps forward, and there's a leaked video where he's talking about how there's going to be much more closures to Starbucks right now and how dangerous Starbucks are, and that this is the beginning of big problems for them. Okay, great.
It's working at home.
So,
it's a black-tailed tyree dog. Oh, sorry, hamster. Hello. Hello, bud.
prairie dog running on the circle. Little treadmill.
It's so cute, right?
So,
So cute.
more and more problems, guys. I love the stories of shrinkflation that people send me. When you guys send me stories about how you go to a restaurant and the food size is getting less and less, and they're cutting back, and they're not including the salad with the meal now, where it used to be soup and salad, now it's one or the other, and then the size. Well, this has hit the high-end New York posh restaurants, and you're seeing these restaurants that are not serving. I mean, they used to have small portions. Now it's a dollop of what it was. And there's a great story out of the New York Post with this and how it's just an absolute disaster. There's a nice big owl hanging out. But guys, we're seeing this more and more. And, you know, gas prices have destroyed everything. Gas prices are the beginning of the problems for everything, because as we see the diesel crunch, that's only going to get worse between now and the end of summer. You're going to see more and more industries that are going to be affected and shut down. Got the parrots again. They're hanging out. Oh, these guys are always walking around. When I was a kid, or when I was younger, my daughter was a kid, she wanted a little pig. And being a single father who wanted to make her happy, I almost got her a pig. I didn't, because somebody explained to me how they get to a certain point and they're not fun. So, okay, and plus we don't live on a farm, we live in the city. So that talked us out of getting the pet pig. Even though, Daddy, can I get that? No. Are you seeing the shrinkflation? Are you seeing things get cut back in your everyday life? Talking to somebody that's in the home improvement industry and the problem with aluminum and how things have skyrocketed over the last 2 years to where prices have not doubled, prices have gone up. Where is that guy? Oh, there he is over there. Prices have gone up 2.5 times in the last year for a lot of these products, and it's made them completely to the point that people cannot afford them in any way, shape, or form. You're seeing that with a lot of industries. So much so that I love, Elon Musk, Tesla comes out, they have their earnings announcement yesterday, they had more revenue, they made some money, so things go up, but will he be able to buy Twitter? And again, imagine being a public company that you just don't get to enjoy, hey, we did good. Isn't that great? No, it's what's next? It's like the guy that wins the World Series. Can you guys repeat next year? Well, we just won. Let me just enjoy that. Let Elon Musk enjoy this. But no, you can't do that. Oh, look at that. Look at the bald eagle right there. That is really cool. So, one thing I got a kick out of is a man bought an electric car. He bought a 5-year-old electric car for $11,000 and then had problems with it. Problems. Takes it into the mechanic. The mechanic says you need a new battery. The battery costs more than the electric car did. He paid $11,000 for the car. The car battery is $13,000. Who can afford that? Imagine if you had to buy a $13,000 motor for your car, you'd say no. And again, this is the insanity of the electric car industry. You're going to sit there and talk about how affordable it is. People can't afford these prices. And again, if things are so good, why don't you guys just go out and get yourself a $1,500 or $2,000 a month car payment? Get the car you want. Don't worry about what your wife says. Just get it, okay? Take my advice. You'll feel so much better. You'll be single, but you'll feel so much better having that $2,500 a month car payment. This is insanity. This is what's wrong with the world right now, is that people don't want to budget. People don't want to sit there and ask a question like that. Why would you ever buy an electric car that's used? Seriously. Why wouldn't you just lease it and turn it back in because you don't want the responsibility of that electric car? But a $13,000 battery, that was bad enough. I owned a Prius, and like my brother said, you're going to love this car for how cheap it is to maintain up to a point. Huh? What's that mean? Well, I knew exactly what he meant, up to a point, because at a certain point, the car is not economically feasible. Things go wrong that are incredibly expensive with cars like that. So, share your thoughts on all this stuff. When it's hot like this, like Mr. Coyote's hanging out up there instead of down here running around. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I mean, I still think that the Twitter deal is going to go together and Elon Musk is going to own it. He's going to take it private, he's going to change it, he's going to revamp it, and then they're going to go public again and he'll make another $25 billion or something. But that's what I think is going to happen. Share your thoughts on all this stuff. I think the electric car market is ridiculous. I think that we're getting these things shoved down our throats and they're so incredibly expensive. GM's car for $66,000. Think about this. There was a point in time when you would never dream about spending $66,000 on a car. And now, think about this. The Cadillac was originally announced at $200,000. New price increase, $300,000 for the car. Does that mean it's $100,000 better? No, it's $100,000 more expensive for parts and shenanigans for that, but that comes out in the next 45 days. So does anybody have the desire to have the Cadillac, the $300,000 Cadillac? Okay. Share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I want to know what you think about all this. With the instability around the world, one thing that's fascinating is what we see from different governments. Italy is no exception right now. Think about this. Since the Berlin Wall fell in 1989, there have been 19 different governments in the country of Italy. 19. Okay? They lasted an average of 18 months. The current one is no exception. And it's going to go down for the count soon. So Italy's got a real problem with energy, real problem with inflation. It's just got, problems with corrupt governments, a little bit of everything. So they're about to have a brand new government in Italy again. Here in the States, we're seeing so much, again, when it comes to real estate. How about this? China bought $6.1 billion worth of our real estate last year. Okay? Let's go buy Chinese real estate. Let's go do it. Let's see if we can do that. Not a chance. That would never happen. So you're starting to see more and more of these numbers get exposed, and they're buying multiple units. They're buying farmland. Imagine if we went and bought Chinese farmland, how that would go over. So very interesting. Hi guys. You guys are probably wondering why I called you here today, but just gonna have a conversation. So you can't help but look at the instability around the world when it comes to food, when it comes to, you just have to look also beyond Russia and Ukraine when it comes to all this stuff, because these issues are far and wide. And the food problem, the fertilizer problem, this is only getting escalated by everything that's happening. And then there's the petting zoo, guys. You can go in the petting zoo if you want.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, then you got babies over here. So, hanging out in the shade, fun little place. So, share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I wanted to go to Italy too. It's funny, before the health crisis, my daughter and I were going to go to Australia, and I have friends in town that are in the medical space in Australia, from Australia, and I cannot wait to talk to them, find out everything that's going on, because, firsthand, real estate in Australia, it's insane. The working poor, that story is insane. But nothing like getting firsthand stories. And you guys around the world that send me stuff, we try to read everything. I try to get everything in, if I don't get it, my team gets it in front of me, and we try to get all the good content. We're seeing gas prices from around the world. We're seeing food prices. We're seeing the empty shelves. We're seeing the delays on getting things. And the instability of food deliveries right now, that's not just here in the States. It's around the world, where we don't know when we're going to get it, where they used to have pastas delivered on this date and produce delivered on this date and meat delivered on this date. And now it's like, we'll let you know, wait and see. But that's not just here, that's all over. So, shortly, the Fed's going to raise interest rates again. Whether it's a half a point, 3/4, a full point, it's going to make no difference. But that's going to happen. You're starting to see cracks in real estate, where you're starting to see prized properties go for sale. Rio Bravo Country Club. Never heard of it, Dan. Well, it is 11 miles above Bakersfield. It's got a 72-hole golf course, and it's being given away at the fire sale price of $4.9 million, which is not for everybody. But you're starting to see things like this because people are not playing golf there. People are not spending their money there, but they need to unload places like this. So that's going to happen. Everybody wants us to go to electric cars. It's a great story about how lithium is not the only problem. It's the manufacturing problem with these cars, and securing the parts for these cars is the big problem. The cost of the batteries, we just talked about, but getting everything that you need from these cars to make a battery is going to be the big problem down the road. And also replacement batteries. How do you make these good for the economy and for the environment and all that stuff as well? That's an issue that nobody wants to talk about yet. So a lot of things happening right now with this, but with real estate, how is this not going to affect things when interest rates go up? How is that not going to be an issue? These guys are just keep hanging out. I'm going to finish this video with these last few stories. There is a company called Meta, Meta.is, that is suing Meta.Facebook for trademark infringement because they had the Meta name first. And the lawsuit and the story is attached below, talking about how a big company taking advantage of a little company, just thinking that they can stop all over us. Well, this will be something that they just want to check. So hopefully Facebook, Meta Facebook, will write them a check. Now, one thing that I'm always fascinated by, nice long snake down there, if you guys can see that, that I'm always fascinated by is the food industry. And lately, I found a great story about, restaurants that are no longer. And, if you have to be of a certain age to remember Howard Johnson's and Burger Chef and things like that. But these restaurants were once big time, and they thought they were going to be here forever, and they're not. So what's going to happen? What's next to close, on a national level? Share your thoughts and all that stuff. The story's below. I won't bore you with the stories, but just let me know what you guys think on what you think is going to be down for the count. Now, there's a woman that flew from New York to Australia and bought herself a Subway sandwich. Jessica Lee realized a little too late that she had bought this sandwich, and she ate half of it. She was starving on the flight, and that goes to air travel and how it sucks. Imagine flying 17 hours and they don't feed you. She ate half the sandwich. The other half was in her bag. She gets off the plane, and because of the Biosecurity Act of Australia, they fined her. They fined her $1,844. So now it's officially, she's called Subway Girl. And Subway sent her because they're degenerates, they sent her a gift card for more food and didn't pay the fine. So anyways, could have been the greatest PR thing in their life. It was all over TikTok and things like that. So bravo to Subway, which I'm kidding. So the most expensive sandwich today, $1,844. Final story was a woman and her daughter were at a Burger King in Meridian, Mississippi, and the daughter claims that in her chicken fries, which chicken fries are they're like in the shape of French fries, and they're breaded, but they're chicken, and they're delicious, okay, and they're horrible for you. But she ordered these chicken fries, and in that was a half-smoked menthol cigarette, which was not the daughter's brand, so she was upset about that. So, menthol too. So, needless to say, I'm sure that she's going to sue Burger King. What have you guys found in your food? Found anything weird like that before? Please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Share this with everybody. Also, don't forget to join the email list. And don't forget that if you want more access to me, there's Patreon, and you can sign up for Patreon. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon.